how long have you been in this field for?
I guess strictly in Assyriology since 2009 when I started at Hopkins. If we're counting my Hebrew Bible stuff toward that, which again isn't strictly Assyriology, I started that degree in 2003. So I was in grad school for 15 years studying ancient Near Eastern languages. So it's been a little while, but I mean, obviously there are many Assyriologists that have either been in the field much longer than I have and or are much better at Assyriology than I am. So I'm just happy that I've had the opportunity to study where I did and learn what I did and write what I did for my dissertation. So phenomenal experience. And I think it's sort of set me up well to do what I do here online.
Well, thanks for answering that. What were your favorite parts of this experience?
I think being able to, I remember going to the British Museum after I'd been studying Sumerian for, a semester and a half. And we were walking around in the Near Eastern section, and there was an inscription behind the glass. I remember looking at it, it was in Sumerian, and I went, oh, I can read that, and actually it was probably one of these inscriptions. So in the back of this book, Megan has taken time to really draw these things out nicely for exercises. So it was probably one of those. But I remember looking at it and going, oh my gosh, I know what that says. Not only did I understand the signs, the cuneiform signs and what they meant, but how they went together, And so I think for me, it was being able to pick up these hand copies of these cuneiform tablets. So what looked to me before just like a chicken walking around on clay, and to be able to pick it up and go, that makes sense to me. I know what that says. It was a pretty amazing experience. I guess the other thing that was really fun for me was seeing how everything from a historical standpoint and an archaeological standpoint sort of tie together in the end. And I remember when I studied for, during my PhD program, we had to take 3 years of intense coursework. And then at the end, you studied essentially for 12 hours a day for 5 to 6 months. And then you took these, what they call comprehensive examinations. And they're just an exam per subject that you've studied and that they're going to test you out of essentially to make sure you learned everything that you needed to learn. So I remember studying, like I had an Akkadian language one, a Sumerian language one, a Mesopotamian history one, and a Hebrew language exam. And I remember studying for all of those things. And the way you studied is essentially to learn everything about everything. Like that those are the instructions. Learn everything about everything. We can ask you anything about these topics. So by the end, you had this incredibly broad and somewhat deep understanding of all of these issues surrounding Assyriology and the Hebrew Bible. And it was so neat because it was at that moment that I could go to a conference and interact with anybody and have a good idea about what they were working on. And I could ask them interesting questions about what they were working on because I knew something about the topic. So that was a pretty cool experience.
So from what I gathered from your response there is that you really enjoyed the practical application. You could apply your knowledge to what you were seeing in the museum. You're like, this makes sense. It's not all Greek to me, or French, or any language that somebody might not speak. It's not alphabet soup anymore.
Right.
I like the chicken walking on the tablet thing. It is kind of what it looks like a little bit.
Yeah.
And then also, aside from the practical application, was your ability to connect with others who were kind of in the same path. They're researching things, maybe not the same things. And I'm sure that this is kind of when you started to foster the whole, this isn't my field, but I did read about this. So.
Yes. I know something about it, but not as much as you.
Before I go, I owe the Ctruth patrons a huge thanks for their continued support in my endeavor to explore the world of chronology. Thank you all. Like the video, hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, and check out these other videos.